you son of a bitch. Cause Punch Drunk loves you.
Yeah, baby, you already know this is Punch Drunk Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moonshine himself, a.k.a. El Adobo, a.k.a. El Sazón, a.k.a. El Borracho, a.k.a. Café Bustelo, a.k.a. El Pastor de Boxeo. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you at this side of heaven. God bless you all. Man, what an epic press conference. New York City, Madison Square Garden at the theater. We got the trilogy, the most important, most historic, but most important trilogy in the history of the sport of boxing. Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor. Y'all already know it's going to be in July 11th, Madison Square Garden, the Mecca. Man, I can't wait for the fight. You see both ladies, you know what I'm saying, really coming out their shell and really trash talking. Actually, you know, they sell the fight in the ring, but now just to see a little bit of animosity, a little bit that is all chippy. You see the flames, the heated exchange between both ladies. Two ladies that's arguably the greatest of all time. There's people out there that feel like Amanda Serrano, the 7-division world champion, undisputed, gunning to be a 2-division undisputed world champion, the most decorated women fighter. Forget about the women fighter. The most decorated, one of the most decorated champions and fighters in the history of the sport of boxing. Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor, the 2-division undisputed world champion, was undisputed in the lightweight division and now in the junior welterweight division. And Amanda Serrano, who is truly a smaller fighter, you know, coming up from 126 pounds, that's really where she's feel more comfortable. She's the one that keep on daring to be great, putting her legacy on the line. Both ladies putting their legacy on the line and creating a great historic story matchup. There's gonna be a movie. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be a movie. Netflix is going to do a movie of Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. They should do a documentary leading up to the fight, man. But yeah, I can't wait to see the fight. I like the way that both girls was talking about Katie Taylor trying to say that Amanda Serrano is delusional because she feel like she feel like Amanda Serrano felt like she got robbed. I think a lot of people, millions of people, felt that she got robbed. So I don't think that Amanda Serrano is delusional. I think the one that is delusional is the one that was getting booed by 70,000 people in Dallas, Texas this past November. And that's Katie Taylor. Katie Taylor, you the one that's delusional, huh? Millions of people watch all over the world. Shout out to Netflix. Shout out to Jake Paul. Shout out to Nikisa. Shout out to Jordan. Shout out to the Serrano sister. Shout out to Puerto Rico, Boricua, Latino. And shout out to the Irish people as well. Y'all already know when the Puerto Ricans and the Irish get together, man, for a fight, man, it's going to be a bombs and burner. I remember the first fight, man. I was there in Madison Square Garden, man. The roof almost came out. Shit, I told y'all, man, I've been to a bunch of events in Madison Square Garden, and nothing was like the Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor. The pop, man, the sustain of that pop was incredible. You know what I'm saying? It was incredible. I've been to every event in Madison Square Garden. I've been to New York Knicks games, New York Knicks playoff games. I've been to the Big East. I've been to the circus. I've been to the WWE when Stone Cold and The Rock at the highest. And y'all know when they come out there, the pop is crazy. The audience is crazy. The cheers. But man, Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor, man, it still gives me goosebumps in Madison Square Garden. The first fight, the second fight in Dallas, Texas, man. Shout out to Amanda Serrano for allowing me just to be there, to support her, to walk her out, walk the team out. Shout out to Jordan, man. It was an incredible one of the greatest experience of my life was out there, man. Just being there and supporting the greatest woman of all time, Amanda Serrano. But I did a video about it. I could catch the video after the live or whatever, whenever you want to catch it. I already uploaded the video, and I'm just talking about what happened today in the press conference with Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. You already know trilogy, July 11th, Netflix. Shout out to Netflix. But also other news came out. Keyshawn Davis going to be facing Edwin de los Santos, el Dominicano, el Plátano, el Manguco, los tres golpes. That face, I already know Edwin de los Santos, who faced Shakur Stevenson. A lot of people feel like one of the most boring fight in the history of the sport of boxing. One of the Edwin de los Santos landed the least amount of punches on somebody in the past. What was it? They said Copy Box said in the past 38 years of Copy Box landed the less punches. Now, they always say that boxing is all about hit and not get hit, the sweet signs. But that type of sweet signs is the one that's going to push people away. Because at the end of the day, the fans want to see a fight. At the end of the day, the fans want to see a fight. When Saturday night comes, or it's fight week, and you in the barbershop and you're talking about, yo, you're gonna watch the fight. Are you gonna watch the fight on Saturday? Are you gonna go to the fight? Or are we gonna have a fight party? So at the end of the day, yes, it's boxing, and boxing is hit and not get hit, and that's the sweet signs. Yet at the end of the day, the fans are geared up for a fight. You feel me? The fans is geared up for a fight. Savage in the building. What's good, Savage? If you haven't become a member of the Punch Drunk Boxing, you already know the link is in the description. Well, not the description, it's right there in the chat. Become a member of the Punch Drunk Boxing, you already know. It's Keyshawn Davis versus Edwin de los Santos. I believe it's a great matchup in the lightweight division. You already know Keyshawn Davis just beat Dennis Baranchik in his last outing to become a world champion. The lightweight division is a good division, is a stacked division. Not as stacked as the 154-pound division, in my opinion. But we got Keyshawn Davis as champion. Vasily Lomachenko, the Ukrainian, the champion. A future Hall of Famer, right? We got Shakur Stevenson, a 3-division world champion itself. We got Javante Tan Davis that's going to be facing Lamar Roach in a rematch, right? And if you mix and matches, we could love we love all these fights in the lightweight division. The Davis versus Davis will be a great fight. Shakur versus Tank will be a good fight. Lamar Roach in the rematch is a good fight. Vasily Lomachenko, Shakur, Keyshawn, Tank, and Lamar is a great fight. William Cepeda beat Tevin Farmer in his last outing, and it seems like Shakur Stevenson is looking to fight William Cepeda. They're probably going to take it a purse bid. You already know Shakur Stevenson, the current WBC champion. But there's one matchup that a lot of people do ask Shakur Stevenson, is he ever going to fight? Is he interested in fighting? The same question is asked to Keyshawn Davis. Is you ever going to fight Shakur Stevenson? Shakur, are you ever going to fight Keyshawn Davis? And this was a question that was asked leading up to even Keyshawn Davis having the opportunity to fight for a world title. At the end of the day, the boxing fans want to see the best fighting the best. Champion versus champion. Pound for pound versus pound for pound. And in the lightweight division, Keyshawn, Andy Cruz. We like to see Andy Cruz as well in the mix of things, right? Keyshawn Davis versus Shakur Stevenson in traditionally needs to happen. As much as I can understand Keyshawn Davis not wanting to fight Shakur Stevenson because they got this brotherly love type of relationship. And I understand what Shakur Stevenson is saying as well. You know what I'm saying? I won't fight my brother. Keyshawn saying, I won't fight my brother. Yeah, at the end of the day, as boxing fans, we want to see the best fighting the best. And this is why I said a couple of months ago, even several years ago, when I know, we have Keyshawn Davis. We've done several interviews. We've done a bunch of interviews. I know Keyshawn Davis since the amateur has been showing a lot of support for Keyshawn Davis. Hopefully, come back to the channel and we can chop it up even more. Is that Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis really is holding the lightweight division hostage. As much as we want to understand their brotherhood, their friendship, and things of that nature, you are holding the lightweight division hostage. A lot of people talking about, well, Vasily Lomachenko need to drop his belt. And yeah, I believe that Vasily Lomachenko needs to decide what he's going to do, because at the end of the day, you got responsibilities. And when you have a title in the sport of boxing, you got a responsibility. You just can't be, I remember when Keith from Tom Thurman in the 147-pound division was injured, had surgery, and people were saying, strip Keith Thurman. He ain't even go a year. I remember a lot of people in the sport of boxing, independent media, YouTubers are saying, yo, they got to strip Keith Thurman. They got to strip Keith Thurman. We don't know we going to be back and stuff like that. Yeah, at the end of the day, a Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson not coming through fruition is bad for the division and it's bad for boxing. I'm just being fair. The boxing world don't give a damn about the friendship. We can understand it, but they don't give a damn about it. We want to see who's the best. Because think about it, if Shakur Stevenson fights the winner of Tank Davis and Lamar Roach, and let's say that Shakur Stevenson beats Gervonta Tank Davis, the winner of the Tank Davis and Lamar Roach. Let's say Tank, right? Because a lot of people, I think that's a matchup that a lot of people have been wanting to see for a long time, right? Shakur and Tank. Let's say Shakur beats Tank. Let's say that Keyshawn Davis fights Vasily Lomachenko and he beats Vasily Lomachenko. What fight that we want to see? We want to see Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson. We wouldn't know who's the best lightweight. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't know. I mean, if y'all not going to fight each other, if y'all not daring to be great and really take advantage of the opportunity to be one of the greatest lightweights that ever graced the square circle, you know what I'm saying? Then I believe one of y'all should just leave the division. Man, even Zach and AC Slater fought, and they was best friends and Saved by the Bell, damn it. Friends forever until we meet again. We're talking about friends. We seen Shakur Stevenson fight Edwin de los Santos. El Dominicano, el Plátano, Manguco, los tres golpes, Edwin de los Santos. Who, in my opinion, they was in that fight with Shakur Stevenson and Edwin de los Santos. I don't think a lot of people want to see that fight again because what happened. But of course, people felt that. Hey, matter of fact, none of these guys should have won that fight. Nah, let's be real, let's be honest, man. I know a lot of people was talking shit about Shakur Stevenson, but damn, Edwin de los Santos didn't do shit either. There was people out there that say, yo, Punch, pero tú eres dominicano, yo, you got to show support to your boy, yo, tú eres dominicano, you got to show support to Edwin de los Santos, pero ese tigre no hizo nada también, vamos, let's keep it real, right? I keep it real, Punch on boxing, okay? I ain't no liar, especially to my own kind, right? To my own culture. I just got to keep it real, I would support you, but Miami, you ain't do nothing, tú no hiciste nada, mi hermano. So, pero estaba corriendo, pues, tú tienes que ser más rápido que eso, mi hermano. Pero ¿cómo así? Ese tigre estaba corriendo. He was running. I know catching him. He no run fast, okay? I know practice chicken, okay? I know like Rocky Balboa. I know practice chasing the chicken around, all right? Man, they was playing hot piece of butter. Do you want the belt? No, I don't. Yo no lo quiero. You want it? I don't want it. Do you want it? I don't want it. They're playing hot piece of butter. Remember, that fight was that the WBC title was vacant, so they was fighting for the world title. You ain't even know who wanted the damn belt. Here, I don't want it. No, I don't want it, bro. I don't care. Here, take it. Happy to matter what happened. No, I don't care. Shit, that whole fight should have been a DQ. That fight should have been a DQ. Smash the light. Yo, what's going on here, man? Like, damn, man. It's like low numbers, like low sperm. What the fuck, man? Nobody cares about these content no more. Jeez. World record. They both did nothing. Cruz, Keyshawn's daddy at the end. Right? Tyra laughing like, yo, what the fuck? What the fuck? Where everybody go? Where everybody go? Nobody likes these Keyshawn de los Santos. I'm wasting my time here, huh? Also, man, yesterday, yeah, man, the Bivol versus Bivol. Oh, yeah, we was talking about this. Demon Walter. Peter, what was the thing? Yeah, I said it. I said it, folks. Bivol wears tongas. Tangas. Bivol wears panties. Bivol ducked David Benavidez. Yes, he ducked him. I don't care what y'all want to say. Dimitri Bivol ducked David Benavidez on broad daylight. And I know what I should go and say. I know the narrative, ladies and gentlemen. I know what type of community I'm in. I know this narrative cesspool. Just like you. I swim in it. A lot of people dive in it. Yeah, Bivol wears panties, tangas. It's contagious. It's become contagious in the sport of boxing that people want to duck. People in position want to duck David Benavidez. La Bandera Roja, the Mexican monster, the Ecuadorian monster, the Dominican monster. See what the people had to say about that. No. And the people that's not going to keep it real, The people's not gonna keep it real of Dimitri Bivol ducking David Benavidez is a bunch of Canelo Alvarez fanboys. I ain't talking about the conservative fans. I ain't talking about the real fans that's gonna keep it real, that's gonna praise and give credit to Canelo Alvarez, but also hold them accountable. All right? I ain't talking about those type of fans. I ain't talking about the delusional ones. Right? I'm talking about these fanboys that they know that a fight with Dimitri Bivol and David Benavidez is great for the sport of boxing. Yes, the trilogy is good, but I can't remember nothing from the 24 rounds of Dimitri Bivol and Artur Beterbiev. I think I've seen enough for now. You feel me? Right? It's almost like when you with your lady, right? And you bust out the first nut, and then you bust out the second nut, and you want to fall asleep. That doesn't mean that tomorrow or the other day or probably next or probably a couple of days, you won't pipe it again. That doesn't mean that you don't like pussy no more. You just tired, all right? You done it. You did the missionary. You did the, you know what I'm saying? You did the doggy style. You lift her up. You motorboat her and stuff like that. You put on the shoulder. You did everything. You did everything. Just because you want to break it and you want to do something with another chick, that doesn't mean you don't like your chick. Huh? Damn, I don't gotta have no trilogy. I don't gotta go 3 nuts and stuff like that. Tomorrow I got somebody else. That doesn't mean you don't like the chick. Right? Come on, fellas. Y'all acting like Dimitri Bivol gotta stay faithful to Artur Beterbiev. I don't want to fight nobody. I don't fight nobody, just want Artur Beterbiev. That's my matchup. And if it comes a close fight, I'm gonna have the 4th fight. And if it comes the 4th fight is close, we're gonna have the 5th fight. And if the 5th fight is close, we're gonna have a 6th fight. And the 6th fight is close. I got what? If it's gonna be close, if we understand that both of these guys already know each other. Like, look at the first 24 rounds. Like, it's gonna be like that again. It might be so close, and then Beterbiev wins, and then it's gonna be so close. And what, we're gonna have the 4th fight, the 5th fight, the 6th fight, 7th fight. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Acting like you don't got no other, like you don't want to. You don't want to pipe another one. Same shit, same analogy, same examples. Bivol and Beterbiev need a break. Gonna sing Donnell Jones and shit like that. Way I wanna be, sweetie diddle diddle diddy. I don't mean to hurt you, baby. No, no, no. Yeah, man. Go out there, Bivol. Go try somebody else. Go fight David Benavidez, man. It's like I said the other day. Can you imagine if Dimitri Bivol fights David Benavidez and he beats David Benavidez? I don't think that'll probably be one of the best top 5, top 3, or probably the best back-to-back win in the history of the sport of boxing. What y'all think? Imagine if Dimitri Bivol does beat David Benavidez in his next fight. If he would have fought him, right? Undisputed defense. And he would have beaten Beterbiev and David Benavidez in the era in which David Benavidez and Beterbiev is probably the most dangerous fighters in the sport of boxing. There's people out there that don't want to keep it real. They know that, look, because the fan, but put it this way, the people that's protecting Dimitri Bivol from ducking David Benavidez is because they know if they say that Bivol is ducking David Benavidez, then that justifies Canelo Alvarez ducking David Benavidez in the 168-pound division. And that's why these fanboys in this community don't want to say that Dimitri Bivol is ducking David Benavidez. Because if they do, it justifies that Canelo Alvarez is ducking David Benavidez when David Benavidez was in the same position that he's at in the light heavyweight division when he was in the 168-pound division. So y'all gonna protect the Canelo Alvarez narrative of ducking David Benavidez by saying that Dimitri Bivol ain't ducking. You know, he's not ducking because he has a Artur Beterbiev fight. What David Benavidez have that Dimitri Bivol wants? But then it's funny because then, see, the narrative comes back right back around. See, the narrative comes right back around and bites into the ass because the same fanboys are trying to justify Canelo Alvarez fighting William Skull, right? The same fanboys that is trying to justify the Canelo Alvarez versus William Skull fight. Because a lot of people was mad that Canelo Alvarez is facing William Skull. But what's the narrative, right? But Canelo Alvarez has the opportunity to become a 2-time undisputed world champion. That's the reason why. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. I mean, Canelo Alvarez is going to have the chance to be 2-time undisputed world champion. And he's fighting in William Skull. At least William Skull has something that Canelo Alvarez wants. Well, Dimitri Bivol got stripped, and now David Benavidez is the champion. Why don't you want to say that Dimitri Bivol has an opportunity to become a 2-time undisputed world champion then? You see that, folks? Every time when somebody try to create a narrative to protect their own dumbass narrative and stuff like that on top of narratives on top of narratives, that narrative come back around and bites you in the ass. Come on, man. We all want to see David Benavidez. What boxing fans don't want to see David Benavidez versus Dimitri Bivol? Like, why y'all just can't be real boxing fans and stop trying to protect the narrative, man? Ask for the fight, get for the fight, man. There's great dancing partner. There's great dancing partners, man, for Dimitri Bivol. Yes, we could see the damn trilogy, but damn it. Look, Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor is a trilogy, but they had some in-between fights. Every trilogy in the history of the sport of boxing had their in-between fights. Why y'all acting up? But I believe, going back to the Keyshawn Davis, Shakur Stevenson, you already know Keyshawn Davis is going to be facing Edwin de los Santos. I'm sorry. I said Keyshawn Davis versus Shakur Stevenson. Keyshawn Davis, Mike Compinger, did tweet that Keyshawn Davis is set to defend his lightweight title versus Edwin de los Santos on June 7th in his hometown of North Fork, Virginia, sources tells Ring Magazine. How many times I told you that they always use the Dominican fighters? Like they could give them an opportunity, but they never. When are they going to give a Dominican fighter like a big fight where he's the A side, where he's protected? Why you just can't put this in New York? Why you can't put this fight in New York where the Dominican fans could come out, because Edwin de los Santos could talk his trash. So this is all just for Keyshawn Davis. They're always setting up these Dominican fighters really to be the B side, to lose. Yeah, they're going to give him an opportunity, but it's to lose. It's not a genuine, let's push this Dominican fighter or stuff like that, like they do other people. But it is what it is. I believe that Keyshawn Davis is a different fighter than Shakur Stevenson. I think that Keyshawn Davis is going to bring the fight to Edwin de los Santos, and Edwin de los Santos is going to bring the fight to Keyshawn Davis. But when we think about this fight, why the Shakur Stevenson versus Edwin de los Santos did not happen? I think that Edwin de los Santos, in my opinion, the way that I see it, is probably more of a dangerous fight for Shakur Stevenson than William Zepeda. I'm not going to say that Shakur Stevenson loses to Edwin de los Santos. I just think that it's a little bit more dangerous. It's something that Edwin de los Santos had that made Shakur Stevenson fight like that. But Keyshawn Davis because Shakur Stevenson won't fight Keyshawn Davis. Shakur Stevenson is basically help build the career of Keyshawn Davis in the lightweight division. Keyshawn Davis might get Gervonta Tank Davis quicker than Shakur. We should be calling for a unification bout. That's what we should be calling for. I even think that the fans have gotten soft. Well, I understand that Keyshawn and Shakur are friends. I understand that. I'm proud. It's nice seeing two friends, support one another. Yeah, as a fan, I don't want to see that fight too, because I respect their friendship. Mira, que friend y friend. Vamos a pelear ustedes, okay? No friend around here. I don't care about your friendship, okay? Okay, this is the fight game. I don't want to fight him because he's my friend. I don't care. You got a world title. You got a world title. Huh? Can you imagine if Kobe never wanted to play LeBron James? We're friends, let's not play in the finals. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to take an opportunity for you to have a ring, or Carmelo Anthony and damn LeBron James been friends since high school and stuff like that. No, we shouldn't play against each other. You know what I'm saying? Because one will win and one will lose. And then, in the off season, my wife is cool. Your wife, our kids are like brothers and cousins and stuff like that. Let's not, get in the way of each other. Didn't we started to hate that little friendship, everybody grouping together in the NBA, right? Because we wanted to see some competition, right? We shamed even LeBron James when he joined Miami Heat. Remember joining his friend and Dwayne Wade and shit like that. But now we want to right. Keyshawn doesn't want to fight Shakur, and Shakur doesn't want to fight Keyshawn. So let's just push for Keyshawn to fight Edwin de los Santos and Shakur to fight William Cepeda. I mean, those are still good fights. It's not the best fight. It's not the best fights. But anyway, we could say that Keyshawn Davis is doing Shakur Stevenson's dirty work, right? Could probably say that Keyshawn Davis is doing Shakur Stevenson's dirty work. I think there's people out there that feel like there should have been a rematch. I think that Keyshawn Davis is really taking. I think if you look at the primary fight, I think and I do respect that. I like Shakur Stevenson's skills and talent. But I understand the fighting style, or even though that he fought a good fight, the way his approach was in his last outing versus the electrician, right? He knocked the dude down. I mean, he knocked the dude out. So we can't. A lot of people can't say that he's boring, right? He was entertaining. But yeah. So the Keyshawn versus Edwin de los Santos, I believe, is a good fight, but it seems like Keyshawn Davis is taking out the Shakur Stevenson's trash. I ain't calling Edwin de los Santos trash. You understand what I mean? Because I don't want even the Dominicans, Diablo. Tú estabas diciendo que Edwin de los Santos una basura, un trash. Diablo, punch, but tú no Dominicano. No, it's figure of speech or something like that. You understand what I'm trying to say? Taking out his trash, right? I think it's going to be a good fight. I think it's a 60-40 fight. You know what I'm saying? I think it'll probably be on paper the hardest fight for Keyshawn Davis. For Shakur Stevenson, William Cepeda, I think that if Tevin Farmer had a lot of success with William Cepeda, I don't think that Shakur Stevenson is gonna have any type of problem with William Cepeda. That's just my opinion about that fight. But yeah, man, when it comes to Dimitri Bivol, I think that he's ducking David Benavidez. I think that it's become contagious. I think that Bivol and Canelo ducking David Benavidez is all wrong for the sport of boxing. I think if Turkey Al Sheikh was putting all that type of money and all this unlimited funds and stuff like that, should have gone towards the Canelo Alvarez and David Benavidez fight. But it is what it is. Hopefully, David Benavidez, there's people out there that want to call him an email champion. And I think that people still don't understand. I said this a while ago. Why people saying email people? I came with the damn term email champion. Punch Drunk Boxing came with the term email champion. And that has nothing to do with just being elevated, because a lot of fighters in the past has been elevated. The email championship. Let me, again, folks, listen up. The email championship term came about that during the pandemic, Devin Haney emailed Mauricio Sulaiman to get his belt back when he was stripped and put on champion in recess. That's when the email champion came along. The email, AOL email champion. No, that not people trying to attach email to Boots, to David Benavidez. No, the email term didn't come because you get elevated. It was that he got his belt back through email. Devin Haney got his belt back through email when he was stripped, when he had the shoulder surgery after his fight with Santiago, and the WBC ordered the Fortuna versus Linares I'm sorry, Fortuna versus Luke Campbell fight. And the pandemic happened. So couldn't go no WBC, though email. There was a message that Mauricio Sudamon said that Devin Haney sent me an email, and I sent him an email back and that's what it. So when he got the belt back, it was via email. That's when Email Champion came about. Was there ever a great Dominican champion, Joan Guzman? Shy in the building said, I don't know why there's so much hate towards David Benavidez. I don't know either, man. I don't know either, Shy. He's highly entertaining. The last 4 fights, you could see that he's trying to fight the best fights that's available for him. You know what I'm saying? He fought Caleb Plant. He fought undefeated Demise Andre, who was also heavily avoided in the 160-pound division before he moved up. He fought Alexander, who only had 1 blemish on his record. He fought the other, but the potential, the guy that they was already calling the boogeyman in David Morrell Jr. And he was lying to fight Dimitri Bivol. Like, he's trying to enhance his legacy, and we see it. And I don't understand why these boxing fans want to Shy. This is what it is that there's a lot of Canelo Alvarez fan, but there's a lot of Canelo fanboys, and they're trying to not hold Dimitri Bivol accountable, because by holding Dimitri Bivol accountable, that justifies Canelo Alvarez ducking David Benavidez in the same position that David Benavidez was in the 168, is the same position he's at in 175. If they say that Dimitri Bivol is ducking him, then it justifies Canelo Alvarez is ducking him. So they just can't say that Dimitri Bivol is ducking David Benavidez. Now they're using that excuse. Now they're fighting for Dimitri Bivol's reputation, because vicariously they're supporting Canelo Alvarez's reputation. That's what it is. Because who don't want to see Bivol versus Benavidez? Who don't want to see that? No, I don't want to see it because I got to see the trilogy. The trilogy? Motherfuckers, y'all don't want to see the trilogy. Especially out here in America, that shit did 45K. So I don't even want to hear a bunch of people say, "No, I want to see the trilogy." No, y'all failed the rematch. Americans failed the rematch. Mexicans failed the rematch. Latino, black, whatever you want to call it. All the Americans sell 45,000 pay-per-view buys in America, which tells us stop it. The Mexicans nor the Americans and anybody in North America, Canelo Alvarez fan, you don't want to see the trilogy. It's not that serious to you. You wouldn't even spend $25 to buy it. Again, 45K to the best card in the history of the sport of boxing, the last crescendo. No. Let's see. And David Benavidez did 150K pay-per-view buys versus David Morrell. So you want to see David Benavidez. You want a Bivol and Benavidez, and trust me, it will do better than the last crescendo. But that's my take. You know what I'm saying? Only got 29 people looking on today. 30, I already did half an hour. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, there's not a great content that's going to create the type of buzz. So, man, tomorrow we back at it. Happy hour, Thursday. Probably get I was going to get an interview today, but I'm not going to do the interview with these type of numbers. I'm not going to embarrass myself, nor the channel, nor the people that's watching. You know what I'm saying? We got to have more support than this. But tomorrow we back at it. Probably get the interview, and it's gonna be probably get the interview. But if the numbers, I'm not getting no type of interviews anyway. I ain't gonna embarrass myself. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Love y'all. God bless, and on to the next.